Hello kiddos. Today we're going to cover some important poetry terms that you'll need to know as we begin to read and write poetry, and we will also cover the feet and meter of poetry so you can learn how to understand how the rhythm of poems works. So first, our important poetry terms that we need to know. A stanza is a unit within a larger poem. It's a grouping of lines that go together. It is also known as a strophe. Refrain. A refrain is a repeated line, similar to what would be in a song. It can be a repeated line or a grouping of lines or more than one line repeated, things like that. Octave. Octave is a verse or stanza that contains 8 lines. A sestet contains 6 lines. A quatrain contains 4 lines. A tercet contains 3 lines. And a couplet contains 2 lines, but they're 2 successive rhyming lines. So those are your stanza links or your verse links so that you can understand those. Okay, now we're going to really test our math skills. We have feet. Okay, feet. We have an iambic, which is 2 syllables with a unstressed and then stressed. So in our example, the word so long. The duh, small d, small a, refers to the unstressed syllable. Dum, D-U-M, refers to the stressed or long syllable. So dum. So long is an iambic, 2 syllables. Or we refer to it as an iamb. Trochaic is 2 syllables, but the opposite of an iamb. Stressed or long, and unstressed or short. Dum-duh, trochaic. So the example is mournful numbers. Mournful numbers. Anapestic is 3 syllables, 2 unstressed, 1 stressed. So the example is, and the sound of a voice. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum. Dactylic is 3 syllables, with the first one being long or stressed, and the second 2 being unstressed, and that's a small little typo. And then the example has 2 dactylics and then an extra stressed syllable. And so it's dum da da, dum da da. This is the forest primeval. And then lastly we have spondaic, which is 2 stressed syllables. Cold gray, dum dum. Okay, now here's where our math skills really come into play, because we're going to talk about meter and combine meter with feet. So if a poem is pentameter, it's 5. Penta means 5. Pentameter is 5 meters. If we combine it with the feet, iambic, if we go back, iambic means 2 syllables, unstressed, stressed. So iambic means 5 iambs, 5 penta iambs, 2 syllables, so we take 5 times 2 and we come up with 10 syllables for the line. And they're all unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed. So the example is, that time of year thou mayest in me behold. That's a line of iambic pentameter. Trochaic tetrameter. Tetra is 4, so it's 4 meters. Trochaic is 2 syllables, and it's stressed, unstressed. So 4 times 2 is 8 syllables. So the line is, example is, tell me not in mournful numbers. Anapestic Trimester. Tri means 3, or trimeter, excuse me. Tri means 3. So we have 3 meters. Anapestic is 3 syllables. Unstressed, unstressed, stressed. So 3 anapests equals 9 syllables. So, and the sound of a voice that is still. And the last one is Hexa Meter. Hexa means 6 meters. Dactylic is 3 syllables. Stressed, unstressed, unstressed. So dactylic hexameter would have 6 dactyls, which means 18 syllables. And this particular example actually has 17 syllables and a trochee at the end. This is the forest primeval, the murmuring pine, and the hemlocks. So if you see, we're working on syllables and not words, and so you can divide, like we divided the word primeval into 2 sections because of its syllables and not because of its word. So that is meter. So those were your important poetry terms, your meter and your feet, and how to combine those and get your syllable count and things like that. These are going to become very important to know as we begin reading and writing more poetry. So that is this lesson, and we will get more into types of poetry in the next few lessons.